hard just to turn back. The curtains fall for the last act. Breaking that levee, breaking that levee. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we're showing out. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing out. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on a battlefield, a survivor, never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat of my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. You can't control this, I'm explosive. You can't control this, it's 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 explosive.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new Click It RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at Click It RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
LSRTV is proud to present to you the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series live from the heartland here from the Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. A lot of Kansas is going on here tonight in my senses, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about it. A lot of that here tonight. Good evening, folks. I'm Jason Rockfell alongside my lead, Wesley Outland, who will be here shortly, and in the production booth, as always, Charles Wooten, for us over here at LSRTV. Ready to go for two twin 40-lap races here tonight underneath the lights at the 1.5 mile here in the heartland of the United States. Always a fun track to race at, and I'm sure enough it's going to be a great one for sure. Last week we saw Nicholas Gowen win back-to-back races at Talladega. Went from the back to the front in race number 2 and won it by just a margin of a little bit over the rest of the field. So he's probably going to be the one to look out for here tonight. Currently 4th up on the board right now. Practice going to be coming to an end pretty shortly, within the next 10 seconds or so. And right now, Andrew Mengrenogle right now up at the front in the number 9 Ford F-150, currently the fastest in practice. And Michael Sturgill, 2nd up on the board, and he is also trying to complete that first win to check off his list for the season. And he's been really good, obviously, so far these first 4 races of the year. Only 6 points out from Nicholas Gowen for the battle for that championship. Obviously, still a long, long while to go, but I'm sure he is going to do just fine. And Charles, obviously, we've called a lot of races together, man. I'm sure that tonight here at Kansas is going to be a fun one for these two twin 40-lap races. We've always seen how exciting the 1.5 miles are, especially for these trucks. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
I'm with you. I think we're going to see some really, really good racing, and obviously we're waiting on racing to get here, and so I figured I'd give you a little break and we let our fans know. One, we're going to see some good racing, and two, The good news, we got our fingers crossed. We do think we figured out what the issue was with the stream crashing. Come to find out, you'll notice come grid time, we won't have any music. We had a corrupted music file in our system that was, when loaded, was crashing the broadcast. So hopefully we'll actually get to watch all of that good racing tonight, Jason.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, Kansas, I've talked about it before, always one of my favorite racetracks to run here on the sim. I've come close a few times. Actually, no, I think I might have one win here in the truck, so I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of these drivers out here tonight. Currently in this session, looks like I believe we have about 20 or so trucks, but we've seen the action all over here at Kansas. You could have 10 trucks, you could have 5 trucks. Somehow, some way, they always put on a great show. Here's Stan Carnathan in that number 82 machine. He's been fast the last couple of weeks, obviously. Looks like he's got a Dale Jr.-esque old National Guard amp energy type scheme going on right there, back from Dale Jr.'s early days at Hendrick. You see him going around 1 and 2, trying to wrap the bottom. Two different lines, Charles, that you can really run here at Kansas. You see drivers go from the top down to the bottom to the middle. There's really so many different groups to run all over the place here.
Yeah, there definitely is. Honestly, you kind of lost me at Rapid Fire Pizza because I'm sure, like you probably haven't eaten dinner yet, and it sounds really good. But it's second place, so he's got that 82 machine rocking and rolling around this track. And this is the one I don't have any preference on, so we'll see. But he's going to slow it down fourth fastest in the number 5. So, yeah, you can clearly tell, by the way, that I have been out of practice for announcing for a while.
Well, sure enough, it's definitely going to be a fun one. But hey, once Wesley gets here, you get to stick to your bread and butter, and that's being the best guy up in the production booth that we know. Qualifying, obviously, just almost 5 minutes remaining. Here's Clinton Castleberry. We were just talking to him beforehand during pre-race. Looks like he's going to have himself a good night tonight. He's all amped up, ready to go in that Ford F-150, getting ready to roll off for qualifying, the driver of the number 21, and he's currently sitting 14th in the points. Only one top 5, one top 10 here so far this season. He's got a long way to go up in the points if he wants to make it up. But look at this truck from Andrew Miller, the number 18 Z-Line Designs Toyota Tundra TRD machine. Obviously throwing it back to the old JGR days in the early or mid 2000s. You think back to 2009, I believe it was, Kyle Busch picked up his first and only NASCAR Xfinity Series championship. Other drivers obviously as well have driven that famous Z-Line design scheme. Anyone from Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Eric Almirola, so many other drivers. I'm sure Andrew Miller is going to have a good run tonight as well. You see him ripping up that top lane. That's really where you want to be here in qualifying. You want to kind of throw away your first lap. That's really what you want to do in a lot of mile and a halves. If you have the opportunity to go up to that top groove, maybe like a Las Vegas, a Charlotte, a Homestead, whatever it may be, guys will toss away their first opening lap so they can come to the green as fast as they can, dive it down to the apron like you see Andrew Miller do right here. He'll come back up to the wall here, dive it back down into turn number 1, try to get that truck to stick, make sure he comes back out to the wall, but not too quickly because he doesn't want to scrub off any speed. Great exit off turn number 2. Here he comes down the back straightaway, going into turn number 3, not able to really get the truck down there. He's about a truck width or so below it. Now he'll come off the corner, try to get the lowest exit he can. Going to scrub off a little bit of speed, but at the line a little bit faster, 30.921. That'll put Andrew Miller up to the 3rd spot. And here's Toby Ritters, who's been having a blast from what we've seen so far, running the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series. Obviously, if you're known for our coverage, covering the Northwest Division, both with the Click It RV Fix Series and the Northwest Trek Series, Toby had a career season. No wins. Had that one lonesome win last season at Talladega. But this year, he really stepped up his game, and he's trying to improve his stats, also his driving, his craft. here tonight, 7th up on the board. Finally under 5 minutes to go. Nicholas Goen, the man we talked about, probably that #1 overall pick, goes up to 2nd on the board. Gabriel Ellison holds the top spot. Michael Sturgill, the man who's trying to get that first win of the year, who's been chasing down Nick Goen week after week. Right now, threw away that first lap, back into 1 and 2. Great exit off the corner. Not going all the way up to the wall, but he's riding down the back straightaway, going to try to get it down right to that white line. He gets down there a little bit better than what Andrew Miller did and what we saw a few moments ago. He'll come off the corner, get back down to the apron, scrubs off a little bit of speed, 30.884. That's going to jump Michael Sturgill all the way up to the podium positions. He's going to be currently 3rd up on the board. Ryan Bloom, driver of that #22 Monster Energy Chevy Silverado. Another one of the Northwest guys. Always strong here at the 1.5 miles. Earlier this year, he battled with Jeff Stabnow for the win at Kansas in the Northwest Click It RV Fix Series. Ryan's always a threat at these 1.5 miles. He's been having a solid season so far here for the Challenge Winter Series. Throws away the first lap, back into 1 now. He'll get right down to that bottom almost, about a couple inches off of that white line. Comes up, almost a near perfect exit all the way down the back straightaway. Back into 3. Going to try to do the same thing he did in 1. And look at him right there, probably the closest we've seen anybody off the corners. He'll come up, get to the middle, back down. He's going to get that cut. What will he do? 30.842. Ryan Bloom goes up to the 4th position now. Dustin Scruggs on track of that #11 F-150. Hit the line this time, 31.2. That was his throwaway lap. He's going to ride the top lane this time, back into 1 and 2. All the way around, we're going to see what kind of lap this is going to provide. This is not usually the kind of line you would normally see in qualifying, obviously. You could kind of see it with the Xfinity Series cars because of the higher horsepower, lower downforce. Usually see a lot of those guys running up at the top, and he's going to throw away this lap right now, come back down pit road. And here's the last driver to qualify, coming to take the green flag for his first opening lap. He's got 1.5 minutes to do it. It's Rhett Tucker in the #99 machine, 7th in the standings right now. Got a couple of top 5s, couple of top 10s. Back by about 171 points in the season so far. Remember, 2 twin 40-lappers here tonight in the Heartland. Tucker going to ride that outside like most of the field has done here tonight in qualifying so far. Back down to the line this time. Throws it all the way down to the apron, trying to cut as much distance as he can. Comes back up. Will we see Tucker go for a pole run here? He gets down to the bottom pretty well. Looked like it was a very early entry, though, for the driver of the 99 machine. Back off the corner. The middle to top exit, like most have done. Back down to the bottom now. About half of a truck width off the bottom. He'll come off the corner, get back down to the line. It's probably going to be somewhere around the top 5. 30.864. That'll jump Rhett Tucker right into that 5th position. And with that, qualifying is going to come to an end here as we have 20 seconds left up on the board. Gabriel Ellison and Nick Goen will hold that front row. Gabriel with a 30.813. Nick with a 30.827. We're going to get ready to go here for the first of 2 twin 40-lap races here tonight. And remember, folks, too, after the end of the first race, stick around because, like I just said, we're going to have one more race. We're going to invert the finishing order from the first race. And who knows, maybe we could see one of our drivers who wins here tonight do exactly what Nicholas Goen did in the second race at Talladega last week. That was race number 4. Tonight, 5 and 6. But the field is getting ready to grid here for the Hollywood Casino Double Down 40s. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Row number 1, Gabriel Ellison, Nick Goen. They're going to be the 2 drivers holding the poles on the inside and outside. Row number 2 tonight, you have Dustin Scruggs, Ryan Bloom on the outside as well. Row number 3, Rhett Tucker, Michael Sturgill Jr. trying to get that first win of the season. Row number 4, Michael Garone in the 29, and Andrew Megrenigel in the number 9 machine. Row number 5, Andrew Miller in that Z-Line Designs machine. Stan Carnathan in the number 82. Row number 6, Clinton Castleberry, Michael Wolford in the number 7. Row number 7, Toby Ritters, Clifford the Big Red Dog, and Nathan Rogue in the number 91 machine. Row number 8, you have Max Steck and Jared Barkley in the number 10. And rounding out the rest of the field, Brad Rivers and Michael Eden. Getting ready to go. Remember, 2 40-lap features here tonight. The field will be inverted after the first race here tonight. Nick Gowen trying to get another couple of victories. Last week at Talladega, he was able to do it. Let's take a look at your Hunt the Front TV race information. Remember, no fast repair. You wreck. You got damage, boy, you better make sure you don't have a lot. 100% fuel capacity. 1 tire sets for both of the races. No green-white checkers. And obviously, like we had mentioned before, 2 40-lap races here, and that's your HuntTheFront.tv race information. Let's take a look at the weather conditions here, presented by Kaufman Creative. Air temp 68 degrees, wind speed 11 miles an hour, could play a factor of a tailwind down the back straightaway. And the track temperature, cool enough to be ripping the bottom, middle, top, everywhere here out on this 1.5 mile racetrack. Been around since 2001. The field rolls off pit road. Going to take their one and only pace lap here tonight. You see Ellison right there. Did a great job, obviously, in qualifying over Nicholas Gowen. 27 really has a great shot to try to win here tonight. We're going to see what he can do. 21st in the points coming into tonight. Only 1 top 10 for the driver of the SimRacerHub.com Toyota Tundra. Way back in the points, but obviously a couple of wins tonight will definitely jump him up big time. But the field is getting ready to come down to the green flag for 40 laps and then another invert, followed by a 40-lap feature to end off the night. Pace truck's going to hit the pit road. 18 trucks under a blanket. Green flags in the air. We're racing in the heartland here at Kansas. Shuffling around right there. You see Michael Sturgill Jr. He'll head down to the bottom, go from the top back down to the bottom. You see Dustin Scruggs easily able to obtain that second position off of Nick Gowen, but as they fly down this back straightaway, the field all bunched up like it's a super speedway race from last week at Talladega. Scruggs going for the lead. The 99 of Rhett Tucker shoves the 81 up the racetrack a little bit of 3 wide battling back behind the. Oh, we got one of the wall turn up in front of the field. That's going to be a first caution of the night. Jared Barkley, Nathan Rogue involved as well down the front straightaway. And Barkley able to avoid the spinning number 91 again. Take a look at the race replay. It looked like it all started coming off turn 4. You saw some drivers get kind of loose. This is off turn number 2, down the back straightaway, the 10. Massive run coming on this 87. He's going to use that top lane. The 87 takes it away, does a little bit of a crossover move, and when he gets there, it looks like right here, the 87 just kind of comes down right there, right into the door. I think he expected that number 10 machine to go down below the apron. Jared Barkley says, "Nuh-uh, you're not finishing me off." Those two probably going to be done for the night if I had to, assume, considering the fact we have no fast repairs here tonight. Now, obviously, underneath the first caution flag here of the race, 38 laps to go, Gabriel Ellison still able to hold the race lead over Dustin Scruggs. And from what we're seeing so far here, just from that initial start, looks like that bottom lane is going to be the way to be coming off turn number 2, but the second you get into 3 and 4, you can really use that top lane. That's something I always tended to do here. Always loved running that top lane through 3 and 4. Never was a big fan of running the top into turns 1 and 2. But obviously this is a multi-groove racetrack. You can run anywhere from the bottom all the way to the top. You're going to be seeing a lot of that tonight. Guys will use the bottom to save some tires, and if they feel like they have enough, they'll go back up to the top. Try to gain some positions, gain some time. Remember, only one set of tires as well, back behind the wall, so if we were to probably get a caution with about 20 or 15 laps to go, you're very well going to see some of these drivers come into the pits. But obviously that's depending on caution. We could have a caution-filled race here, and you might see a lot of guys stay out here. And here's your official point standings. Thank you via Charles Wooten. Here's presented by LiveSimRacingTV.com. Obviously, Nicholas Goen holding the points lead right now over Michael Sturgill by just 6 points. Then you have Rivers, Ellison, Plager, Bloom, Tucker, Tuckness, Miller, Ritter's your top 10 from 1st to 10th, all separated by about 190, 192 points. Really, all those drivers up in the top 10 all have a very, very good chance of going after a title this season. Nicholas Goen, remember, 3 out of 4 wins so far for the year for him. Michael Sturgill still looking for that very first one. Only driver this season so far, too, out of the first 4 races to have 4 top 5 finishes. Nick Goen only down by 1. 3. They both have 4 top 10s apiece. The same goes for Brad Rivers. Jonathan Plager as well. He has 4 top 10s. 1 top 5. Field's doubling up now. Off turn number 2. Ellison's going to be your leader when they fire off into the Geico restart zone. Dustin Scruggs was able to take advantage, got about 2 spots almost nearly there. Once the caution came out, he was below Gabriel Ellison. Ellison had the top spot at the time of caution. Maybe we'll see right here if the outside gets rolling better this time around compared to what we saw about 4 or 5 laps ago. Pace truck's back in. 35 laps to go. This time they come into that blue and white Geico restart zone. Green flag's back out in the air. Ellison, great restart over the rest of the field. Puts about 2 truck lengths between him, Scruggs, and Tucker. And Tucker's going to go down to the bottom now, try to do exactly what Scruggs did to him and going at the initial start of this race. Off turn number 2, Tucker takes that 2nd position. Everybody else filing out down the back straightaway. Here comes Sturgill, trying to get into that podium position in 3rd. He'll look down to the bottom of Scruggs through 3 and 4. Up the racetrack, nearly slides, and oh no, Ryan Bloom turned in front of the field. That's going to be a caution again, and this time he collects Andrew Miller. And those 2 are stuck together up into the outside wall, almost shades of what we just saw 5 laps ago. See him back down into 1 and 2. There's that number 29 machine on the inside. That's Michael Garone Jr. And a very interesting Kevin Harvick throwback right there. You're going to see right here, the 82 machine is going to kind of crowd the 22. And Ryan Bloom just comes right up into that number 18 machine coming off turn number 4. That's going to be our 2nd caution here of the night. Field slowing down, obviously waiting for the pace truck to get back by them. It's Ellison and Tucker, and this time Tucker was able to do what Scruggs did to him last restart. Seems like if you restart 2nd in line on the bottom, you have a very good shot coming out in 2nd on these starts and restarts. Some of these drivers are definitely paying attention to, because we have seen a lot of times these races will come down to a green-white checkered finish or a few laps to go. You think back a couple months ago at Kansas, Christian Eckes able to pick up the win for Bill McAnally Racing. in a late race restart, battling with Zane Smith and others, making it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Closed the door on Smith off turn number 4, picked up his 3rd win of 4 of the season, won the season finale at Phoenix. Was knocked out at Homestead, competing for a championship. I'm sure once these guys do get into a rhythm, they will be going really fast. And obviously making sure they don't want to make any contact, because like we talked about, no faster pairs. Jared Barkley, Ryan Bloom, Nathan Rogue already out of their cars right now, sitting on pit road. Don't believe they are going to rejoin this race. Nathan Rogue now back on the racetrack. Bloom 2 laps down, Jared Barkley 6 now. So 2 drivers currently looks like to be potentially out of this race, but good news for them as Ryan Bloom has rejoined the racetrack. If they finish back there, they're going to restart up at the front. Ryan Bloom, I think, knows he has the capability to get up towards the front and stay up front with how good he is in Northwest competition at the mile and a half. Always strong. So far, your biggest mover of the race, too, Brad Rivers in that number 15 machine. And that Chevy Silverado sitting back in 10th. He's up 7 spots. Came into tonight 3rd in the points, remember? Only back by 85, but the top 2 in the points right now kind of running away, but we've seen this time and time again. You can have 2 drivers who dominate a season, and in the second half they can fall apart. So this is still really anybody's championship to go after. Like the field's going to get the 1-to-go signal, I believe, right here this time by at the line, and they will. Going to be 30 laps to go when they come back down to the Geico restart zone for the 3rd time tonight, 2nd restart. Still Gabriel Ellison up at the front of this field, fired off of the restart zone very, very swiftly, quickly, and cleanly. Last time around, we're going to see what kind of restart he gets this time. He's going to have Dustin Scruggs behind him once again, like it was on the initial restart. And that 99 of Rhett Tucker. What will he do here up on the outside lane? Remember, the initial start and the restart we've seen so far, that outside lane does not get a good start, but maybe if this number 99 can get that push from Michael Sturgill, he might be able to get back to that race lead. But nobody has been able to take that lead away from Gabriel Ellison so far. Pace truck down again, 3rd time tonight, 2nd restart. 3rd time they head through the Geico restart zone. Green flags back in the air. 30 laps to go in race number 1 here in the Hollywood Casino Double Down 40s at Kansas. Already some drivers filing out. Not the typical restart we've seen. This time Rhett Tucker able to close the door on Scruggs and Sturgill off turn number 2. But here comes Scruggs. Has the jump down the back straightaway. Going to be side by side with Sturgill. Almost got to the 99. It wasn't enough. Back into 3 and 4, the 99 slots up. Gives Sturgill the opportunity to possibly go through the middle. He's not going to do it. Almost 3 wide off the corner. And we're going to have a clean restart here. 1 green flag lap in the books. 29 to go. Ellison back down to the bottom. This is your battle going on for the 5th spot. And oh, Carnathan brushes the wall off the corner. Ritters. And Ritters and Rivers also happen to go to the bottom to avoid him. They get back in line. Here comes the 29, making a run up at the top side on Scruggs. Back down the front straightaway, though. Battle for the race lead. Rhett Tucker pulls out of line. Got a massive jump off turn number 4. And he'll try to go for the race lead now. Back down into turn number 2. They're side by side. In that outside lane, once you have that momentum from drivers drafting behind you, you can get out there. but not enough so far. Tucker and Ellison still separated by 300s. They're going to be side by side. You see the 29 continuously look to the bottom of this 11 machine. It's about 5 trucks up here at the front of this field battling for the lead, and Tucker might be able, if presented with the good enough run off turn number 2, to clear Ellison off the corner, but it's not enough. They're going to remain side by side. 2 drivers still duking it out for the race lead. Double wide the first 2 rows.
I hope it sounds okay. Can you guys hear me? How about it? How about it, John? I'm cutting it out badly. Is that any better now? Hey, John. Hey, Jason. How you doing, buddy?
Ready to go, man. We've been seeing some great action here. 26 laps to go. It's all been Gabriel Ellison, Dustin Scruggs, Rhett Tucker up at the front of this field. About 5 trucks under a blanket going for the race lead right now.
And remember, this is only race number 1. They'll do race number 2 again. And then Rhett Tucker leading the way. Scruggs in that number 2 spot. Ellison third. And right now, obviously, at the track like this, you just got to kind of hold your line. Be patient. Don't be aggressive. But you got to also remember, you know, Jason, that this is quick races here for sure, too.
Yeah, quick races for sure, and obviously 2 40-lap features, no different than a C-fixed race would be here in the official stuff. So these guys really got to make sure they can get to the front pretty quickly, save those tires for a little bit, and then the last 10 or so really put the pedal to the metal and try to get back up towards the front. But obviously that draft is definitely going to help you here, especially down these straightaways, but you don't want to be behind somebody into the corners because that can create a lot of being aero tight. As you see the 11 of Dustin Scruggs trying to go back for the race lead, back down the front straightaway.
We're watching all of this going on now with 24 laps to go, 16 laps into the first race. Now 23 remaining. Rhett Tucker up on the outside. Here comes Ellison. He'll make a move on the 2 trucks up in front. Scruggs. Now Tucker. They battle 5 trucks for the lead as they go into turn 3.
Back into 1 and 2, or 3 and 4 rather they go. You see Tucker taking that line away from Dustin Scruggs. If you're that race leader like Rhett Tucker, that's exactly what you want to do, and you also want to try to break that draft. But Wesley, it's so hard to do that with how aerodynamically dependent these trucks are here as they head back into 1 and 2. Scruggs closing the gap to Tucker, just not enough to get him off the corner. Back down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Tucker still having that race lead over Dustin Scruggs. Able to pull out a little bit now by nearly 0.2 of a second. Thought Scruggs was going to have the opportunity to get down to the bottom. Just wasn't enough. Now they battle back down into 3 and 4. Everybody getting single file, trying to save just a little bit of tire for when eventually they do have to use them up and go after that race lead here, as they're just now hitting 21 laps to go. Make it 20 back down into 1 and 2. Michael Garone still trying to fight past that 90 of Sturgill. He'll work now to the outside lane. 2 grooves up.
Jason,
third number 4.
Jason, it would help if I didn't have my mic muted. My apologies. I had my mic muted as I was making a voice. But yeah, man, still Rhett Tucker leading the way with a strong run he's got over Scruggs, Ellison, and Sturgill. And again, right now, you just got to halfway through the race. All this going on as they work their way to the back straightaway, back into turn number 3. And Rhett Tucker's got a nice, comfortable lead right now.
Yeah, and he's got a really good lead right now. It's back out now to about 2.5, nearly 0.3 of a second. But Dustin Scruggs still able to close that gap once they get off these corners with that draft weight. Remember, like I said, Those trucks very aerodynamically dependent, and look at that. Michael Sturgill slams the door on that 29, causes a little bit of a draft leak on the back of that 29, sends him up the racetrack, and now Sturgill has about a 2 truck length advantage over the 29, who's in 5th now going into 3 and 4.
Man, that's Tucker and Scruggs right now, but look at them all start winding each other back in again. The top 5 single file, and look at that 29. Garone trying to get back in this battle, trying to catch Sturgill. And all the while, these guys work their way back into the turn. 1 and 2 to the backstretch, obviously. Second half of this race underway. Remember, everybody's inverted as they work into turn number 3. And all the while, Tucker is the man that they're trying to get around. They can't get him yet.
Yeah, nobody's able to get around him, but this is a good battle going on for that 4th spot. You see that 29 of Michael Garone finally trying to work down to the bottom of Michael Sturgill a couple laps ago. Chopped them off, slammed the door on Garone through 1 and 2, but now everybody's starting to try to run that top of the racetrack. They feel like they've saved just enough little bit of tire to where they can start running that outside, making the momentum go. And there's the 29, not able to get around the 90 just yet as they head back into 3. Everybody nose to tail, trying to see who can run the top of the racetrack the fastest off.
Yeah, for sure. Kansas is a very unique racetrack, and obviously what we're seeing right now is a mile and a half. It's right now a calm race. I'm starting to see that. It's not like on the super speedway level like Daytona or Talladega, or even what we saw last week where we were. Everything right now, calm, cool, collective, a different strategy in this race, if you will. See one guy bounce off the wall, save there, as sticks to his side in the bottom of the 3.
Yeah, you see this 5 machine, Max Steck, started in the back. He's only up 3 spots from where he started. There's the 21, Clinton Castleberry. He's going to try to work now to the outside as the 5 cuts down to the bottom, scrubs off a little bit of tire. The 21 still all over his back bumper as they work back down. Now into 1 and 2, the 5 should have the momentum, but the 21 sliding up has to lift out of the throttle, and Max Steck nearly crushes the wall off turn number 2 down the back.
Man, what a nice save he just made. Again, still Tucker in that lead spot. Scruggs in second. Hold on to it, guys. Catching fire is Ellison, and Steck not backing down away from that 21 either as they work into turn number 3.
Now the battle going up for the race lead. Here comes the 27, trying to get past that 11. Lost that race lead. Rhett Tucker and Dustin Scruggs, and now Ellison trying to get back to second as they try to chase down Rhett Tucker, who's only about 0.5 of a second ahead of them. Yeah, it's half a second, but they have that draft. They can still catch him now as they hit 12 laps to go this time.
Working back down into the corner, Rhett Tucker still at leader. There's Ellison. Ellison after Scruggs. The white number 11 to Ford down the back straightaway. And Sturgill ready to pounce on him. And remember, Jake, the entire field is inverted. So what strategy can you use from race 1 to go from the back of the pack to back and double down if you can for race number 2 here tonight at Kansas?
You know, I mean, really, it's all about, do you want to sacrifice the points that you're going to have? Maybe if you're a driver like Stan Carnathan, Toby Ritters, Andrew Megranogle there in that number 9 machine, do you just want to maybe kind of sacrifice coming to the pits, trying something here with 10 laps to go to just make sure you can start up at the front for race number 2? But I mean, why would you do that? I mean, you're going to sacrifice some points. Obviously, you're fighting for a championship. You don't want to do that. The only advice I could really say to these guys, if you're going to be starting at the back, like we're probably going to see Rhett Tucker, Gabriel Ellison, Scruggs, Sturgill go and do, because they're your top 5 right now. And like you mentioned, Wes, and like you said before, the field will be inverted for that second race, kind of like that Saturday night short track field that we have, all around the country. And if you're one of those guys starting in the back, you have to make sure you get through the field very methodically. Take your time, be patient. I know 40 laps isn't a long time, but if you know you have the truck underneath you to do it, you know how to save those tires. You know how to take the runs where you can find them and when you can get them. You can get up towards the front, but we've seen here in the first opening laps of tonight's race, we've had already 2 or 3 cautions, And they all came within the middle of the pack because of guys being aggressive on these restarts. So you have to be mindful and very careful of that heading into race number 2.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You got to be mindful here. And if you're a guy like Red Tucker, what strategy do you take from this event where you're right now a half second over everyone else right now? As it crosses the line, the 18 machine is, that's Miller's truck right now in the top 10. He would be the guy that would right now be mid-pack. It really wouldn't bother him that much. He'll start in the same spot for race number 2. What do you use from race 1? That's the strategy I think they're thinking about right now. But nonetheless, single digits. Red Tucker, the leader. Stack trying to battle again with Miller and Ritters and company as they work into the corner in 3 and 4.
Yeah, and back down into 3 and 4 now. You see Max Stack trying to go down to the bottom, and Toby Ritters has got Clinton Castleberry right behind him. They're going to work around the number 23 Click It RV, Clifford, the big red dog machine. Now they're going to go 3 wide. Look at the run that Ritters has got coming off turn number 2. They're going to be 3 wide. Will they keep it sticking? They do. Still 3 wide, back to 2 now as they hit back down into 3.
Man, what a battle going on for third now as we pick up that battle between Miller and Ritters and Stack. Now third place contested. And Scruggs is under attack. Here comes now Sturgill and Gowen, the man that was able to sweep last weekend, if you will. And Scruggs is in the wall. Oh my, he's in the wall, losing momentum. Here comes Sturgill to the inside as they go to 3.
Oh, they're going to make a little bit of contact. 11 to the 90, off into turns 3 and 4. Sturgill going to get that super special nearly. It might be too late to get it, but that number 90 goes up to the 3rd spot. Will he clear going back into 1? He will now with 5 laps to go. Mike Sturgill back to 3rd spot on the podium.
And what a save by those drivers just a moment ago as they stuck it 3 wide. Somehow, someway, kept it together, and we race on. Sturgill now up to 3rd. It's Ellison, Tucker, the podium. 4 laps to go when they come to the line here at Kansas in the end of race 1.
4 laps to go. Gabriel Ellison is closing that gap on Rhett Tucker for the race lead. Remember, Wesley, it was about half a second, not even 5 laps ago. It's down to 3, almost 2.5 tenths as they work off the corner. And what a nice save there by Michael Sturgill and also Nick Gowen off turn number 2. They nearly got up into the wall, but you can see them right now trying to run the top the fastest they can and also taking away one another's lines.
What a save. And now they say to the inside of the apron, let's pick up Rhett Tucker again. The 99, he's got a half second on Ellison. And there he is, the viral Raps entry in his own world is right now. He about took it up to the top of the safer barrier as they work their way to the back straightaway. It's his race to lose, but Jason Ellison is starting to reel him in the late rally as they'll come to the line. 2 to go, this time by at Kansas.
And 2 to go, and Ellison got a way better entry back down on the apron than Rhett Tucker did. In fact, he gained about 600ths of a second down the front straightaway alone. But as they go back into 1 and 2, Ellison loses all that time he made up. It might be too little too late. A lap and a half to go here in the Heartland, and Ellison trying to put the pressure on Rhett Tucker and reclaim what was his, which was the lead just a handful of laps ago.
Little too late to do the right thing now. And now Ellison tries one more time to reel back in. Tucker, this time around. White flags in the air. 1 more lap to go. Off into turn number 1 and 2. It's Tucker by half a truck length. Ellison one more time to reel him in. Here you go, Jason. Who's going to win it at Kansas in race 1?
Back into 3 and 4 for the final time. Rhett Tucker, he's going to ride the top. Here comes the 27, going to try the video game move like Edwards did here years ago. Not going to be enough. Rhett Tucker, race number 5 winner. He's the first winner of the Twin 40s tonight at Kansas over Ellison and Sturgill. And it was a good move by Gabriel Ellison, but also very respectful to not wipe up into Tucker there, Wesley coming off 4.
Man, what a phenomenal job right there by the driver of the number 99. How about it for Rhett Tucker? He made it. Ellison gave him every fit he had. He just came up short, and boy, oh boy, what another win. What is this? Another win, first win for Rhett Tucker this year, I believe. He's been so close to winning in many accounts and races, but tonight, finally a winner at Kansas. He gets it done. And I'll be honest with you, Jason, a pretty clean race as we look at the top 10 here tonight. Rhett Tucker, the winner. Gabriel Ellison in second. Michael Sturgill back 2 seconds for third. Michael Gowen, Michael Garone, Bradley Rivers, Dustin Scruggs fell back. He was up in the podium until those last couple of laps. Andrew McGonigal, Stan Carnahan, and Max Steck the top 10. But again, buddy, we're all going to be inverted for race 2, my friend.
Yeah, and it definitely was. Those first couple laps, the first 10 laps, in fact, we had 2 cautions, which was very interesting. And then all of a sudden, everybody just turned up the heat, was able to run really clean. You see the rest of the field, Ritters, Miller, Castleberry, Wolford. You have Rogue, Eden, or Bloom also, and Barkley. And Jared Barkley, if he does return, along with Ryan Bloom, those two will be up on the front row here for the second race. But overall, a great race there for that second half, Wesley, in the first one.
We're going to step away real quickly for post-race interviews, and then we'll be back to grab the top 3 in race number 1. The Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge tonight at Kansas CRN. We're back in a moment, of course. As I was doing basketball, Jason did a great job, and the Hollywood Casino Double Down is in the books, race 2, when we grab our top 3 next. Welcome back to coverage of the, of course, Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge. Jason did a great job. I'm Wesley Outland. Again, I said CRN, my apologies. I race it on LSRTV. I just got done doing CRN radio call for basketball, and I'm mobile here, so that's why things sound a little bit different. But, Jason, you're kind of the lead man tonight, buddy, so let's grab third place, man, and I'll be the color guy tonight, and you grab the man on the podium.
Sounds like a plan, man. In third place, obviously, coming home tonight is obviously the driver of the number 90, Michael Sturgill. Mike, you were really fast there in those closing laps. Got about a 2-for-1 special right there off the corner with a couple guys, including Nicholas Gowen, man. How do you feel like your truck was handling out there tonight? And obviously, how are you looking forward to race number 2?
Yeah, I thought I saved the tires decent, but it got really tight, and I was trying to get around Dustin, and the way it worked out, I was gonna get passed by Nick also, so I sent it into the corner and got really tight up the track and ignored him, which apologize for that. Don't want to do that, but I will take a third place. It's extremely hard to pass on old tires here.
You know, if I think about it, Sturgill, I believe we've interviewed you close to every race this year so far in the Winter Series. What do you attest to the momentum that you're continuing to have, just not been able to break through into victory lane just yet?
Just probably need to be a little more aggressive, stop hanging back, and get out front and stay out front.
There's the driver, the number 90, Michael Sturgill. Michael, thank your sponsors, and we'll see you for race number 2 here in just a handful of minutes.
Yeah, just want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast and everyone watching. Moscow Joe's on the truck and everyone at Eons.
There's Michael Sturgill, driver, the number 90, coming home P3. He's going to be starting towards the tail end, but sure enough, he'll find his way back up towards the front. Now we're going to lean over to the guy who comes home a bridesmaid in race number 1, Gabriel Ellison. Gabriel, you threw it down in there, man, heading into 3 and 4 for that last time, man, and I was like, oh, there's no way he's going to pull the Carl Edwards move. Was that what you were thinking the whole time, those last closing laps?
Yeah, I was trying to get, I needed to get closer. It was difficult. It drives a little bit different the closer you get, especially you go in on that top behind someone. It's really tight in the center, so I was trying to find a way to get close to make a last lunge at it, and I did it anyways, but there was no way that was sticking without me just wrecking him. So I wasn't gonna do that. Rhett got there and got the clean air early, and that was a good move. I probably should have fought much harder than I did. I thought I could save tires and it would work out, but I mean, I still got second, so I'm not going to complain too much, and he ran a pretty much perfect race.
Do you feel, Gabriel, that another 2 or 3 laps left that maybe you could have had the momentum to get around him? Because it definitely looked like that, obviously Tucker did get in the wall at one time, but about under 10 to go, we saw him hit the safer barrier on the back straightaway, but obviously just kept that momentum going for him to be able to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depended if he made a mistake. I was just trying to carry as much pace as possible to try to force him to push the truck too hard. If he didn't make a mistake, there was pretty much no way I was going to pass him. But if he made a mistake in 2 or 3 laps, then sure. But yeah, I gave it about all I had, so that's about all I could do.
Well, Gabe, with that being said, going to get ready for race number 2, man. Thank your sponsors, and we'll see if you can go from the back to the front and compete for the race win for the second one here tonight.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to that. It'll be interesting. Huge thanks to Aspiration Homes, and of course SimRacerHub.com, and a huge thanks to LSRTV for putting this joint on.
There's Gabriel Ellison, driver the number 27, coming home P2 in race 1. Going to try to get one spot better for race number 2, Wesley. And now we go over to the race winner. First win of the season for Rhett Tucker. And Rhett, man, we saw a lot of times the restarts, the outside wasn't playing out that much, but at one point you got down to the bottom, you were able to clear for second, and then, man, you just set sail on that race lead, my friend.
Yeah, finally had a good race, kind of error-free. I do got to correct Wesley. We didn't get into the wall, brother. We got hella close, but we didn't get the wall. And that's the first race ever at Kansas. I don't think I ever got in the wall, and that's why we won.
I got you. It looked like from my mobile lagging movie that you got into the wall. So that's on me, brother.
I did lose 2/10, of my lead, but that's just because I was trying to keep it off the wall. I probably would have lost more.
I'll tell you what, I guess I could ask this within the question here. What's it finally feel like, Rhett, to finally get to victory lane with this series? Because you've come close so many times, Daytona, right around the corner there. And, of course, it looks like Kansas is really your friend tonight.
Yeah, I've always loved this joint. It does feel good. Feels like I can actually, race and compete. This is the only racing I've been doing is Tuesday nights. I got to, get back on my grind and start racing more. It feels good, though.
Well, that's Rhett Tucker, driver of that number machine right there in, I'm trying to remember, I'm having a brain fart right now, but that's Rhett Tucker, driver of the number 99, obviously. And Rhett, thank your sponsors, man. We're going to see you here for race number 2 in just a handful of minutes. Going to see if you can make it 2 for 2 here tonight like Nick Gowen did last week at Talladega.
Yeah, Nick's been killing it. Gabe too. Tough crowd here. Gotta thank all the homies at RTR for coming out tonight. It's cool to have, what we got, 5 guys out here. Viral Computers, Malware Bytes, Sim Racer Hub, LSRTV, and everybody for watching. Appreciate it.
There you go. There's Rhett Tucker, driver the number 99, going to be starting shotgun in the back, going to try to get back to the front and make it 2 for 2 here tonight. We're going to step away for just a quick moment. We'll be back before the start, or obviously the grid, for race number 2. Stick around. Race number 2 coming up here in just a handful of moments. We'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LSR TV's coverage again of the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series. Only a handful of seconds before these drivers, after their warm-up, will grid up for the second and final race of the night. Obviously, remember, 2 twin 40s. And Wesley, these guys are going to be inverted. We've been talking about it, and that's something we've been stressing all season long since we started this a couple weeks ago, man. And it gives us that Saturday night short track, feel. I mean, I've seen it happen at Wall. I know you've definitely seen it all over the East Coast and the country, man. This is going to be a lot of fun for sure, especially at a mile and a half like Kansas.
You gotta love the invert, because basically what happens is everybody that was the winner goes to the back. You got your fast guys in the back of the pack. Now they're gonna rally up to the front. It's your Saturday night short track feature. You're running double down races and obviously double points on the line, and you got that special format. And obviously we're gonna really enjoy that as the field is gridding, buddy. I think we're about ready to go. 40 laps, twin race number 2. You gotta love it, man. Happy holidays, the Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge.
We're ready to get going. Here we go. 18 trucks ready to go at it again for the second race of the night. Row number 1, the 2 drivers who finished dead last in the back are going to be starting up front. Jared Barkley, Ryan Bloom, row number 1. Row number 2, Michael Eden, Nathan Rogue in the number 91 machine. Row number 3, Michael Wolford there in the number 7. Clinton Castleberry struggled late in the going in the last race. He's going to start on the outside on row number 3. Row number 4, Andrew Miller. Toby Ritter's another driver, struggled there towards the tail end. We'll see what he can do from the 4th row. And then rounding out the top 10, Wesley, row number 5, Max Steck in the number 5, and Stan Carnathan in the number 82.
Moving on to the next row, it's going to be Andrew McGonigal as well as Dustin Scruggs. So we move into those drivers that finished back in the top 5. Then you got, of course, row number 7, finally Bradley Rivers and Michael Garone. Moving to row 7, row 8, Nicholas Owen, who swept the races last week, if you will. Michael Sturgill coming off of the podium a moment ago. Air Kansas to the 90. And there you see the front row. Now in the back at the end for race 1, now in the rear for race 2, Gabriel Ellison and Rhett Tucker ready to go. 18 drivers, 9 rows here at the mile and a half at Kansas Speedway, Jason. 40 laps, and I think we're going to see an entirely different race than what we saw in race 1.
We definitely will. Remember, too, the first couple of laps, in fact, the first 10 laps, we had 2 cautions. We're going to see if that will be replicated, possibly, hopefully not. But we will see. These starts and restarts here at Kansas are always hectic, especially with the trucks, how aerodynamically dependent they are, how much grip they have. Pace trucks about to pull in. Jared Barkley, Ryan Bloom, 2 drivers who tangled earlier in race number 1 are going to start at the front row. Green flags in the air. We're racing here at Kansas once again. And you see Barkley jump up, nearly put Ryan Bloom in the wall. Bloom will try the crossover. 4 wide, heading down into 1 now.
Well, they're not wasting no time to get to work. 4 wide, and the Tango tussle now becomes a double tussle down into the corner into Kansas. 3 wide now. Monkey in the middle. Hold on to that spot there as they're all fighting for these positions into turn number 3. Right now, Ryan Bloom leads him as the leader, and they're 3 wide again. Rivers talking to turn 4, Scruggs behind.
3 wide, you see the 8 of Michael Eden pinch. Oh, and Jared Barkley, something of a miss on him, going way to the back here. Might have made contact with Ryan Bloom. He is dropping so many positions. Goes all the way back to the tail end. There's still 3, 4 wide, back into 1 and 2 as the field continuously shuffles. Oh, one around. That's Clinton Castleberry down on the bottom of the racetrack. We stay green since it's below the racing surface. He'll loop it around. Oh, and the caution's out. Big time caution, and this is the number 8 machine of Michael Eden up in the wall. We just saw them 3 wide for a moment. We're going to take a look here at the LSRTV replay. There's the 10, Jared Barkley, dropping way to the back, and I think right here, Wesley, he probably just said, you know what, I'm not going to battle. Might as well just lay off and try to see if I can survive.
Yeah, they were very frantically racing for this event. Obviously, guys in the back, the end result for him turned around.
Yeah, and then you see Max Steck as well. He gets involved. And up at the front, it's Ryan Bloom and Toby Ritters. And it's going to be interesting to see if Jared Barkley can obviously maintain. Remember, he finished pretty much dead last in the last race. And now he's going to have to work up exactly where he was, last race, being in the back and currently sitting P11. It's not that bad, but obviously still pretty much halfway through the field. He's going to have a lot of work here to do now. And like we talked about, would we see what we saw in the first race? We saw a couple cautions the first 10 laps in. We were pretty clean and green for the first 2. And obviously they all got together. And boy, oh boy, I could expect probably the same kind of restart right here, Wesley, when they get restarted probably around 35, 34 laps to go.
Man, how excited would it be if being so close to winning championships in the playoffs this year to finally seal the deal and win on this Tuesday night series. He's looking really good in the Monster Energy 22 right now.
Yeah, and he definitely is looking really good. We talked about him right at the top of the broadcast, how he fought with Jeff Stabnow in the Northwest Click It RV Fixed Series this year, and almost a photo finish with Stabnow coming to the line, just lost it by about a car length or and a half. But Ryan Bloom, always a driver, Wesley, that me and you have seen now, especially me these last nearly 2 years in competition, where Ryan Bloom is very strong here at these 1.5 miles. Toby Ritters as well. He's been very good recently on the 1.5 miles as well. Didn't have that first race he wanted. Looks like he's going to restart around the 2nd or 3rd position, but really these are 2 drivers who I think are probably slept on when it comes to the rest of these guys throughout the field that really have never really raced with them up until about this year.
And I'll be honest, I think Toby Ritters right now has put himself in the catbird seat for the first time in this series for the Tuesday Night Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series to possibly win this race. And how fitting is it with 1 to go that it is a Northwest comrade right beside him, along with Ryan Bloom, Toby Ritters.
Yeah, and Toby Ritters, obviously, he was having a strong race at Talladega last week, got taken out. He finished 13th in race number 3, and then race number 4, he came home just shy of everything, obviously, and he finished 21st after being wrecked early on as well. So had strong races at Talladega last week. The same could be said for Ryan Bloom, but obviously Talladega is always an up in the air, what we call crapshoot. But you always have your players up in front, just like you're going to have your players here at Kansas. We saw a lot of, ghost to go and a lot of guys getting sideways that first race. We've already seen it here tonight so far in race number 2, and very well could be the same exact situation. But they're getting ready to come back down to the restart. Bloom and Rogue, row number 1. Ryan Bloom in the black Monster Energy Silverado going to lead him back down into the Geico restart zone. He'll fire out of it. Outside lane stacked up a little bit. Ritters is going to have a good jump on the bottom. Looks like he's going to clear Nathan Rowe going down to turn number 2 as Bloom gets a hell of a restart back into 1.
Single file up on the outside lane. Behind them, they stick it 3 wide. Here comes Scruggs and Garone right up the middle. Boy, oh boy, and patience. Now Tucker just got a shot to the bottom. The save Anderson. And the family holding the line.
Everybody still double wide, 3 wide off turn number 4. They're nearly 4th. There's the 18 of Andrew Miller. He's in the sucker hole right now. The 29 outside of him, Michael Garone Jr. Gonna rip the top side with Dustin Scruggs, who was very fast in that first race. But when you look at the top 2, Wesley, from that first race, Brett Tucker is right just behind Gabriel Ellison by about 3 positions. They're almost battling as they head into 3 and 4.
Back into the corner again with Ryan Bloom, the leader. Ritters is in 2nd. How about Carnathan? Carnathan up there in the 3rd. Sturgill, Ellison, both in the back. At the ring, have flown less than 7 laps into this race. They might be the guys to win the race here in race 2 at Kansas in 3.
They very well could be. Obviously, back down the back straightaway. Here comes Michael Sturgill. He is the only driver in that top 3 to almost get into the top 3 right now. And Ritters gets a little bit of a push from Carnathan off turn number 4. Sturgill going to work down to the bottom and follow Carnathan, while Ritters holds the top side back into 1 side by side for 2nd, back to 3rd, almost 4th as Ellison closes in behind them.
There's that battle now with Bloom in front. Carnathan back to the inside of Ritters. Ritters protects the outside lane. Sturgeon will stay to the bottom as well. Here comes Ellison up top. 2 by 2 behind the leader in 3.
And Carnathan nearly washes up the racetrack, gets into Ritters, battle for second still going on. Ryan Bloom loving everything he's seeing back behind him. There's his Northwest buddy, Clifford. We call him Toby Ritters from Win Racing. Those two going at it for first and second. Oh, the 82 slides up, nearly door checks the 23. They're 3 wide for a moment. Back to 2 now as Carnathan falls into the clutches of Ellison and Sturgill. Back to 3.
What a save by the driver of the 23. Toby Ritters about put in the fence. He held it together. We still stay under the green flag. It's Ryan Bloom, followed by Ritters, battling back with Carnathan. Then you got Sturgill, Ellison. Now they've kind of slowed down, not momentum-wise to the front, but they are in the top 5 as we work 1.
Yeah, Nathan Road, you see him holding that 7th position over that 18 Z-Line Designs machine of Andrew Miller. He'll work now to the top side through 3 and 4. The field behind him, single file. A couple drivers back 2 wide behind Nicholas Gowen right there in that number 81 machine as they come back off turn number 3. 29 laps to go with the line. Bloom leads over Ritters, but Ritters closing that gap as they all battle behind him, double wide for 1.
Ryan Bloom by himself, but here comes now Ritters trying to get up under the tailgate of the leader for the lead. A couple of Win Racing drivers that we know from the Northwest in this Juice and Night Series. Sturgill now carries Carnathan. Tucker is up to 5th. Winner of race 1 in the top 5. Happy Sturgill in 3.
Back off turn number 4, you see Mike Sturgill trying to catch Toby Ritters. Carnathan behind him. Here comes Rhett Tucker, the winner from race number 1, trying to reclaim what was his, which would be the race lead from after race number 1, trying to get 2 for 2 here tonight like Nick Gowen did last week, like you mentioned, Wesley, at Talladega. Here comes the 99, working to the outside of Carnathan, back into 3 and 4 as the 90 of Sturgill. Slide job on Ritters for 4th.
Oh, now Bloom still in the lead. Look at Sturgill and Ritters, and they're going after it. Sturgill to the number 2. Traffic behind them. It's going to be Ritters. Monkey City, Monkey. Here comes Sturgill.
Here comes Sturgill back down the back straightaway. He's going to have the momentum to the inside of the Black Monster Energy Silverado through 3 and 4. Sturgill going to try to slide up the track. Not enough momentum. Ryan Bloom still right there until they're side by side while Ritters battles with Rhett Tucker in the back. They're nearly, oh, Ritters turned hard up into the race wall. There's the 99.
No.
Big crash back into 1. Huge pile-up with 26 laps to go, and a hellacious hit to the outside safer barrier for Toby Ritters.
And Rhett Tucker also involved Jason. Rhett Tucker still in this accident.
Oh my goodness. And what a hit, Wesley, that the 23 took into the outside wall. You're going to see them back down right here, heading down the front straightaway. Ritters, they get put 3 wide here for a moment, and Ritters is just going to get hooked right here in just a moment. Oh, goodness. What a hit for the 23 machine. Rhett Tucker as well, your race 1 winner. Gabriel Ellison involved. That was your top 2 from race number 1, and there's only one guy who finished in the top 3 who's still in this race, and that's Michael Sturgill, and he's going to be your race leader. Working underneath the caution. 25 laps to go. We could see drivers come to pit road, and here we go. For the first time, we're going to see it. Maybe a couple drivers will stay out, but here comes the Michael Sturgill, leading them back into the field.
Hey, Jason, I just got back home. Give me a few minutes, buddy, and I'll be connecting with you in our studio.
Sounds like a plan. And that number 90, Michael Sturgill, coming into the pit stop right now, into the service of his pit crew. Everybody else back behind him. Nick Gowen at 27. Gabriel Ellison right back behind him. He's 1 lap down. Probably going to be a couple laps down, more than likely, after this one. He was one of those drivers involved, obviously. 24 laps to go. Everybody coming out of their box. Will anybody beat anybody else off? Looks like the number 90 will win the battle off pit road, but 2 drivers, in fact, did stay out. Pitted on lap number 3, Clinton Castleberry, Max Steck. They're going to restart off on the front row here for the restart. Just 21 riding back behind the iRacing official pace truck, 3 and 4. Probably going to get the green flag with somewhere around 22, 21 laps to go. You got the fresh set of tires, you better use them. There's no more saving. You might be able to save for 5 or 6 laps, but besides that, you're really gonna have to get back up towards the front in a hurry. You're a driver like Stan Carnathan, Andrew Miller, Nick Gowen, who's finally making his way up into the top 5. He faded back a little in race number 1. Now he finds himself around the same position where he was in race number 1, and we're actually getting the 1 to go signal this time. So we're going to be restarting this race. Second race of the night, remember? Hollywood Casino Double Down 40s, race 2 of 2. 6th race of the year for these guys. Round number 3, technically. Went to Michigan for the first 2 races a couple weeks ago. Talladega last week. Nick Gowen swept the week there. So far, we've seen Rhett Tucker win tonight. Who else is going to join him in victory lane? Works back down into 3 and 4 now. Max Steck, Clinton Castleberry. What will he have for these drivers who are going to have multiple lap pressure tires in them? For the folks at home watching, if you don't know what cold tires does, you might find out right here. These guys don't have them warmed up. We very well can see some slipping and sliding. This 21 and 5 could present a challenge for drivers like Sturgeon, Bloom, Grove, Gowen. Back into the Geico restart zone. 22 laps to go, goes up in the air, green flag, a little bit of stacked up on the bottom side, but Clinton Castleberry gets the restart he needs. Max Steck going to be up on the outside, battling with Michael Sturgill back down into 1 and 2 this time, and Sturgill with the head of steam off turn number 2, looks like he's going to challenge for the race lead, but here comes Ryan Bloom back down to the inside, 3 wide for the race lead now into 3.
He got turned to the bottom of the start of things. He works his way off the corner. It's Bloom and Sturgill, though, fighting for the lead as they're right now 3 by 3 behind them as they work into turn number 1. And they're crashing.
Catchments. Oh my
no.
goodness. Hard hit.
Steck, Castleberry, Carnathan, and carnage in turn 1 at Kansas with approaching halfway. My goodness, I just muted my mic to toss it to you in turn 1 there, Jason. And all hell is broke loose here in race number 2. And like I told you when I was mobile, I had a feeling this second race was going to be carnage.
And it certainly was. We're going to take a look right here. 21 obviously having a little bit of a connection issue for him. But back into 1 and 2, you're going to see right here the 82 of Carnathan. Hard to tell from that angle if he came down or if the if he came up or the 29 came down, but he put the catchments there going into 1. And boy, oh boy, just like we had moments ago, another big wreck here tonight, which will put us under another caution flag with just under 20 laps to go.
Another look at it, aerial coverage presented by LSRTV, your home for sim racing. And look at what just took place as we're now halfway through this event. I gotta wonder, could netcode been a factor of this, Jason? It looked like a couple of trucks were blinking going into 3 and 4.
The 29 looks like he just went right down right there just a little bit too early. Flipped that right rear of that 82 machine, sent him head on into the outside wall, kind of just reminiscent of what we saw happen to Toby Ritter's multiple laps to go. And obviously that's going to be another caution like we talked about. Let's see here if we can get up the caution race information here tonight.
Presented by
Virginia 811.
Yes, sir. There it is. And obviously, how many cautions was in race 1? I think it was 0. Am I right, Jason?
two. We had two right at the start of the race in the first 10 laps, and then we went green the rest of the way. But so far, 3 cautions here tonight. Obviously, a total of 6 laps and 4 lead changes. And Wesley, this race so far, from what we've seen up here in the booth, race 1 was definitely chaotic in the beginning. Got very calm, had a good finish there, and so far here tonight, it's been all chaos in this second one so far.
Yeah, chaos and mayhem ensuing indeed, as right now we are back under the yellow flag, as we mentioned, for what will be the 3rd time in this race. And they've not just been small cautions either, Jason. They've been multi-truck pileups and some guys that you really had high hopes that they would do well, and then it's just shattered and torn dreams with what's been going on here tonight so far in this race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is the product though of trucks at these mile-and-a-halfs, you know. And Wesley, just like, you know, the race fans we are, I mean, I mentioned it before in race number 1. You look back a handful of months ago, back at Kansas, Christian Eckes able to pick up his 3rd win of 4 of the season. Obviously won that finale at Phoenix, and that race was really chaotic for the late race restart. Obviously, Eckes able to make a 3-wide move, close the door on Zane Smith, pick up that win. And this is just a product of how these mile-and-a-halfs are with these trucks. Not as much horsepower as the Cup and Xfinity cars, and also they're very aerodynamically dependent. And I keep saying that, but boy, oh boy, it is the truth. One little instance of damage on the right front, the right rear, and it will really ruin your race if you do not fix it.
Charles, what you got, man? This race has been very interesting, no doubt, for the second half of this event for the Hollywood Casino Double Down 40s. And you can obviously hear me a lot better now because I'm back home in the broadcast studio.
Yes, we finally let you back in the booth. No, you know, I just want to talk about, you talked about this second race has been more full of carnage and crashes, but I don't give shout-outs enough very often, but, you know, I want to thank VMix. VMix worked with us this past week, and there may be a lot of crashes on here, but one of them is not our system anymore. So,
well, don't jinx yourself. Don't jinx yourself, Charles.
No,
oh my goodness, don't do that.
I said it at the beginning when you weren't here yet, as you were getting everything set up. That's why there was no grid music. We actually had a corrupt file, which was our grid music, and that was crashing our system when we were trying to stream. So that's why we were having that. We did away with that. We'll get the music back with some new music, some new hip-hop music, or I don't know, we'll do something. Anyway.
Wait a second. You're talking about our hip-hop bopping, exciting grid music was bad for you?
Yeah, apparently it was crashing our system. So,
wow.
We did away with that. We got rid of that file, threw it in the trash can, deleted it, and we'll find some new music to hype people up for the grid. But, yeah, there's been some crashes on here, but our streaming PC is not one of them.
So far, not tonight. All right. Well, all right. Jason, let's get ready to go back to green, buddy. Obviously, I'm going to let you get it back to it because Sturgill has finally put himself in the catbird seat to possibly win this race. We'll see what goes on. But Ryan Bloom is hungry as well as we get ready to go back to green.
Yeah, Ryan Bloom is very hungry for sure. Made a 3-wide move, just wasn't able to complete it a couple laps ago. Now he's going to have an option to see what he can do on this restart as they come back into the Geico restart zone. Green flags in the air, 12 trucks on track out of the 18 we started with, and Sturgill gets a great restart out of the Geico restart zone, and Nathan Rogue has Nick Gowen finally up at the front again as they head back down to the 1. He's side by side with Bloom off too.
Back to it again. Here you go. This is Gowen. The man that was able to win both races, double down last week. He's on the inside, gets by Bloom. Miller gives him a shot in the tailgate. Up the top side now. Up under attack is going to be Rogue. Rogue's got Gowen, Miller, and Bloom. Top 5, Sturgill leading the way with 15 to go at Kansas into turn number 1 as they go back into the corner single file.
Nathan Rogue, he's going to work down to the bottom. He's going to almost chop off that 81 of Nick Gowen through turn number 2, and the 90 actually slides through the corner, opens up the door for Nathan Rogue. They're going to be side by side back down to 3, but Sturgill surges ahead up on the top side with Gowen and Bloom, and the 18 as well as Andrew Miller, all under a blanket for the race lead off 4.
And thanks to everybody for joining us on the broadcast, and obviously now ready to see these guys go at it in round 3 here tonight in Kansas. It's Sturgill the leader, but for how long? Behind them, they are about to two-step and do-si-do here in Kansas. You're not in. Watch out. Look at him. And here comes also Bloom falling back, but he's starting to climb back into the top three if he can into turn 3 on Miller.
And outside was not very kind to Ryan Bloom on the last restart. Fell all the way back to about 6th position. Now he's working on Andrew Miller for the 4th spot, but he's got to get in front of Nick Gowen and Nathan Rowe, who are still 2x2 in front of them as they get back into 1 and 2. This time Sturgill has the race lead over them by about 0.4 of a second as they hit the back straightaway, with Sturgill surging ahead.
Backstretch into that 3rd turn now. Again, Sturgill in that top spot, looking to be another winner on the series for the Sim Racer HUD Challenge Winner Series if he can pull it off, but not for long. Here comes Gowen, the man that swept last weekend. Nick Gowen is now moved his way into the number 2 spot. The Exalta number 81 Chevrolet reeling in Sturgill as he gets around Rogue out of turn 2.
And a great move there from Nick Gowen, obviously able to finally get back by these guys, and Rogue's going to fall into the clutches of Andrew Miller, back down to 3 and 4. 18 nearly gives him a shot almost in the rear bumper. He'll cut back down to the bottom, clips the apron. They're 3 wide back behind them. That's Ryan Bloom battling side by side with Brad Rivers and Andrew Megrinogle there in the number 9 machine. Back into 1 and 2, still 3 wide, Wesley, for those spots.
Right now, 3 wide. Bloom is in the middle. Here they come to the outside. Look at Miller, contact in the back. He's got some help from Rivers. Wilford also there. Here comes the 9, powering through Meg Ronigal in the Coors colors of course, the awesome Bill from Dawsonville, $1 Million Man. The colors of the number 9. He works there as they work out of turn 4. We're 10 to go at Kansas.
Thought Andrew Megrinogle there was going to try to go down to the bottom and pull a crossover move on Rogue, but it just wasn't enough. Sturgill, though, back up front, leading over Nick Gowen by nearly 0.3 of a second. He's still ripping that top side, and Nick Gowen just waiting for his opportunity. And remember, these two really battled at Talladega a lot, Wesley, last week. And not only the first race, but the second race. Nick Gowen, the only driver so far this year in this season to go and win race number 1, start at the tail, the last car on the tail end of the longest line, and win Talladega. And obviously, Brett Tucker all the way back in 9th doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it tonight unless, well, obviously carnage could happen. But, I mean, Michael Sturgill Jr. looking to pick up his first win of the season.
This time by 9 laps to go to the back straightaway. There's Red Tucker, winner of race 1 here. He has fell all the way back around where Jerry Barkley is in the top 10. Scruggs is also back there. Bloom, who led most of this race, has now fell to 7. There's contact! Scruggs, is he spinning? He got into Bloom! Bloom goes around! Everyone else checks up! Caution out! Trouble in turn 1! It's Ryan Bloom! I just caught the tail end of it. And there you see the end result as the caution is out, involving contact with Ryan Bloom and Dustin Scruggs there, Jason. Wow.
We're going to take a look here at the replay. This is down the back straightaway, half a lap before it happens. You see Ryan Bloom a little bit out of control. And I tell you what, Wesley, I don't know if he made contact with that outside wall, but he had to have kissed it. Reminded me of Jimmy Johnson in his qualifying lap at Dover in the mid-2000s. And boy, that was one save. And Ryan Bloom just comes right down in front of the 11. And watch this. He dances it up, keeps it, just brushes the wall with the left rear. Doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of damage on the 22 machine, and it's obviously going to be interesting to see if Ryan Bloom can come back and pick up some points, but they've already taken their 1 pit stop for the night. So Ryan Bloom, he's got what he's got now. He's just going to have to manage and survive.
Yeah, that was a save for sure. And somehow, some way, we're ready to take this one to the finish here, Jason. No doubt about it, buddy. Michael Sturgill trying to put this thing in victory lane. He's got to hold on to see if he can do it.
He's got to hold on for sure. And with just 7 laps to go, we're going to be taking the green flag shortly, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank our sponsors. We'll be right back from the Heartland here in Kansas for the conclusion of the 2nd race of the night here for the Hollywood Casino Double Down 40. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race on Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Looking to the inside of Turner, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway, nearly does.
Last night the track was very slick. You know, we had 2 good grooves.
Anyway, just another some of that.
There's people in the stands. That means there's people watching.
At Click It RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Welcome back, everybody, to the SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series, race number 6, round 3 here tonight. Jason Rockwell up here in the booth alongside Wesley Outland, as always. Charles Whoop in the beautiful production studio at home. No crashes, but a lot of crashes here tonight, Wesley. We're going to be restarting with just under 3 laps to go. You think we're going to see any carnage play out here? We've seen time and time again, whether it be sim or real life, these late race finishes here at Kansas with the restarts can be really, really chaotic and exciting.
Yeah, I don't think we're done crashing just yet. And if you remember, per the new rules in the rule book, remember we saw this happen last week as well. They do not finish in overtime. If we have an accident, Jason, let our audience know, buddy, the race is considered official. So that's something that's got to be taken into consideration, especially with them still under caution with 4 laps to go. The lights might go off on the pace truck. We might get the 1 to go. It'll be 3 remaining in the race.
Yeah, and we saw that last week. Remember, Wesley, it played victim to a lot of drivers, but aided Nick Gowen to pick up his 2nd win of the season. And then obviously started at the back, went on to win his 3rd.
Sure did.
4 races at the time. Now he's 3 for 5, trying to go 4 for 6 here tonight. He's got a great opportunity to do so, and I think if there's anybody really up in the front of this field who could challenge this number 90, I'd say, Wesley, it's definitely Nicholas Gowen for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's Gowen and Sturgill. I mean, for the most part, as we get ready to go back to green, it will be 3 laps to go. You know, me and you talked about it. That bottom line, we've seen those 2 drivers at least somehow, shape, or form on the podium for every race this year, whether it's in victory lane or whether it's finishing in 2nd or 3rd. And Sturgill, I know he wants to break through. He's tired of being on the podium. He's tired of being the bridesmaid, especially the driver going. He wants to win here. We'll see how it goes down here with the finish of this race.
Oh yeah, and this one is going to be interesting. And remember, like you said, Wesley, no overtimes. The next flag will end the race, whether it be the caution or the checker. No overtimes. 3 laps to go in the heartland of the United States in Kansas. Sturgill, Gowen, front row. Green flags back in the air. Michael Sturgill gets a good restart, but Nick Gowen is right there to hang on his door heading into turn number 1.
Back underway, Gowen sticks it to the inside under the tailgate of Sturgill. Sturgill now single file with Gowen. Here comes now McGonigal. He tries to size up under Rivers and Rogue. Hold on to him, guys, as they work off turn number 2. They're trying to go 3 wide. McGonigal under attack in 3.
Sturgill doing a great job right now, trying to hold that bottom, making sure he doesn't let Nick Gowen underneath him. But the 90 sliding up the track a little bit could present an opportunity for Nick Gowen to make a 1-2 laps to go from Kansas in the Hollywood Casino Doubles. Michael Sturgill Jr. trying to pick up his first win of the year as they head off 2.
Less than 3 miles to go down the back straightaway. Sturgill could tonight be the night with a couple of Chevrolets. 1, 2, and 3. Sturgill, Gowen, Rogue, Rivers, Meg Ronigal, top 5. They are single file. They are coming to the white flag. It is win or lose.
Nick Gowen gonna stick right behind him, and it's not gonna be enough. A bridesmaid, no more. Michael Sturgill Jr., race number 6 winner, round 3 winner here at Kansas. Under the lights here, Nick Gowen second, Nathan Rowe, your podium in the top 3.
And how about it for Michael Sturgill finally breaking through with that number 90 Chevrolet, the NASCAR Joe's sponsored machine. And I know Sturgill is going to be ecstatic, Jason Rockefeller, when we grab him for post-race, because I know for a fact he was so hungry. You heard him say it when I grabbed him a question in post. Man, can everything work itself out? Oh, and by the way, he had to climb 15 spots to win this race.
Man, started there in 16th on the start of this race. He almost pulled the Nick Gowen, obviously, last week in Talladega, but Brett Tucker coming home 9th here tonight. You see the number 90 burning it down. And remember, Brett Tucker, your race 1 winner here tonight, picked up his first win of the season over Gabriel Ellison and Michael Sturgill. But this time, Michael Sturgill, the only driver out of these few that have raced here tonight to get back-to-back podiums tonight. And Sturgill is going to continue to probably be the number 1 overall pick heading into next week at Homestead. With that being said, let's take a look here, Wesley, at the unofficial race results presented by LiveSimRacingTV.com. Sturgill, first win of the year for him. Nicholas Gowen continuing the momentum, probably going to maintain that points lead. He'll come home second. You have Nathan Rowe, Rivers, Miller, Meg Renogle there, the number 9. Michael Wolford, Dustin Scruggs, Rhett Tucker, Ryan Bloom manages the top 10 after spinning late in the race.
I'm afraid with that music cues up there, we're going to get knocked offline. Gabriel Ellison will finish 11th. Jared Barclay will be 12th. Michael Guaruno finishing 13th. Clint Castleberry, all come undone for him. He had a really strong truck, it seemed, at the start. So did Stan Carnahan, top 15. Max Steck, Toby Ritter's crashed early, if you remember. Michael Eden, the MRN. The MRN truck finished in the number 18 spot, 38 laps down. So coming up, we'll grab the podium there, Jason, and what a great job, man. Finally, Michael Sturgill Jr. breaking into victory lane. Let's take a look real quick at the race summary presented by Virginia811.com, and there you see it one more time. 4 cautions, 6 cautions in total tonight, as Jason referred to the couple of cautions in race 1. This one had a lot more action and carnage. 14 caution laps, 4 lead changes, and I'm so happy. That's brought to you by Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care, especially with the holiday season upon them. If you're digging for new swimming pools or planning to put spas or whatever in your yard, make sure you do it. Before you do that, go to V811.com and get permission. Make sure you're not tearing down a phone line, telephone line, cable line, whatever it is. So, Jason, Sturgill winning, and man, I gotta say I'm so impressed with the job that these guys did. It was a crazy, wild race, but somehow, some way, they got to finish besides finishing under caution.
Yeah, thank goodness we finally got to see that. Michael Sturgill Jr., obviously first win of the season for him, and we're going to be able to talk to him here in just a handful of moments with the top 3, Sturgill, Gowen, Rogue. We'll be right back after this. We're going to grab the podium, and me and Wesley going to close it out here for tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Heartland in Kansas here at the Kansas Speedway for the 1.5 mile. 2 twin 40 laps are complete. 6 races, 3 rounds down now. And obviously we are going to grab our podium, starting with Nathan Rogue in the number 91 machine, man. You had to fight for it, but you came home P3 tonight. It's got to be feeling good here tonight in Kansas.
Yeah, I want to apologize to Jared in the first race. I straight took him out. But yeah, the second race was a good one.
Well, when it's all said and done here, finishing in third, Nathan, very excited to see somehow, some way you climb back into this. First race was very interesting. What did you take from the first race to put in strategy to be on the podium for race 2, especially with all the calamity and wrecks that we had for race 2 exactly?
I was just trying to save my right front, really. Save a little tire. Well up going into the corner.
Well, Nathan, you come home P3 tonight, man. We're going to see you next week at Homestead. Thank your sponsors, buddy. We'll see you next week, obviously, in Homestead, Miami.
Yeah, thanks RTR and Primary Motorsports. It was a fun one. Appreciate it, guys.
That's Nathan Rogue, driver the number 91 P3 tonight here in the second of the Hollywood double down at 40s for sure. And now we're going to move over to second place. Nicholas Gowen tried to make it 4 for 6 here tonight. Couldn't do it, but you were right there in the hunt, man. You've been so consistent so far all year long. It's got to feel really good knowing that you've been fast week in and week out no matter where we've gone here so far.
Yeah, it feels really good to know that I've got some pace compared to these guys. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys in these leagues, and to be close to the top makes me feel really good about my pace. So happy about that. But yeah, nearly got another one tonight. In the first race, I definitely feel like I had a little bit more pace in the truck over Michael. I think I was kinder to my tires at the very least early on. And second race, once we found ourselves up there towards the front, I told him it's like no pressure. I mean, consider this repayment for last week. So just going to follow suit and try to do my best to keep everyone else behind us. So happy with the result for sure.
And obviously, too, you come home second here tonight, man. Looking forward to seeing you next weekend from the state of Florida. With that being said, man, thank your sponsors. We'll see you in 1 week's time from Homestead Miami Speedway.
I didn't get to ask a question,
Oh!
Jason. What are you doing?
I was waiting. I was
doing?
waiting for you. Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead, my friend.
Going, obviously, buddy. I think I said this in the booth. In every race we've ran so far in the 6 events, you've at least been on the podium. What's that mean to say about the just consistency you've had, whether it's winning or just being in the top 3, especially making a run to this winter championship?
I mean, it says I'm here to play. I mean, as far as the results show it, I'm definitely want to be able to contend for that championship, and just being even if I'm not in victory lane, just having strong, consistent finishes is going to make it tough for anyone to knock me off the top spot, I think. So, I mean, Michael's right up there with me, and as long as we're both up there, I'm happy with either one of us taking it home at the end of the season. But I mean, it's still very early, so a lot of racing left.
There you go, Jason.
Yeah, now I can. I had a huge brain fart for a moment. It's been a long night. I haven't really had a lot of sleep, but I'm going to take a big snooze after this one. But Nick, with that being said, now I can ask you to thank your sponsors, man, and we'll see you next week from Homestead.
Yes, also thank you to you guys in the broadcast booth for doing this each and every race. Thank you to Rapid Fired Pizza, our team sponsor, and we'll see you next week.
That's Nicholas Gowen, driver the number 81, still going to hold the points lead heading into Homestead next week. And now we're going to move over to the first-time winner this season, Michael Sturgill, picking up your first win of the season, man, after 6 starts here. You're 1 for 6. It's got to feel good to finally get the monkey off your back after so many consistently good finishes so far this season.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. Actually, before the second race tonight, I was worried I was cursed to finish, top 5, but never a victory. We had a couple recruitment races, and both of those I finished second. I was like, oh no, when am I going to get a win? Then it worked out tonight.
Sturgill, I know me and you were chatting about it earlier, bud. To finally break through into victory lane, man, what's it mean to you? And being consistent, kind of like the way you and Goin have been the first 6 races this year.
Yeah, it means a lot to be able to come up here and win this thing. It's nice finishing, top 5 consistently, but you always want to win. So getting my first one knocked out of the way, hopefully it's the first of many.
And Michael, with that being said, man, thank your sponsors, and we're going to see you next week at Homestead. Try to see if you can make it 2 more wins, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I just want to give you guys a shout out for putting on an awesome broadcast. Everyone watching, my teammates at Eons. It was not me and Nick timed that last restart pretty much perfectly, and then it's nice to know that the guy behind you isn't gonna race you super hard. So it was good to have that peace of mind. And Moscow Joe's on the truck. If you need a wallet, just search up Moscow Joe's on Etsy. And Rapid Fire Pizza. If you need some pizza, go get some from Rapid Fire.
There you go. Thanking the sponsors. Michael Sturgill Jr., your winner here tonight for the second of the twin 40 laps. And that, obviously, Wesley, we finally got through the first 6 races so far. The points are a little bit tighter than what they were now. Coming in here to tonight, Nicholas Goin still able to hold that point lead over Michael Sturgill by 13 points. Man, these two are going to be really tough for the competition these next few weeks, especially when we go into Homestead, another 1.5 mile tight track next week.
Yeah, man, Homestead, Miami, a very unique racetrack. It's just 1.5 miles, but it's different in configuration and different in racing. And the word precision banking, Jason, we're going to be using that next Tuesday night. Whether I'll be mobile or be in the studio with you, man, I think it'll be an exciting event for sure. And Homestead, Miami always offers that type of racing. Round number 5 and 6 of the season already in the books. We're going to 7 and 8 before the Christmas break, man, and I think it's going to be a good show. Good job tonight as well on Lee.
Thank you very much, man. And then, well, folks, with that being said, that's going to come to the conclusion of tonight's broadcast. Want to give a big shout-out, obviously, to SimRacerHub.com for letting us do this. Everybody part of LSRTV, Jeff Stabnow, Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten, everybody here, obviously, that makes this happen. iRacing for giving us this great platform. Tomorrow will be the FEG PC Wild Wednesday Money Racing Series at 8:30 from Talladega, round number 5. And the next week, like we talked about, round number 4, races 7 and 8 for the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Should be a fun one. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the FEG Custom PC Series, and also next week for the next round at Homestead. Good night from Kansas. Jason Rockefeller signing out with LSRTV.